All right, Shalom. First, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakha Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. I just want to address this farming, all right, issue, all right, that's been going on for a little while now. Okay, which one thing I noticed is that a lot of people in the world, they're not really paying attention to this. Okay, and it's usually the things that people don't really pay much mind to that come out and bite you the hardest. Okay, and so like it says here, Ndabu's been putting up a lot of videos, going into it as to how farmers are not able to plant, all right, because the floods and the water and these natural disasters, all right, keep on, what I'm saying, messing up the land, messing up the crops, all right, and it's taking a toll, man. If you notice, it's happening around this time of the year. Okay, now this is ultimately the Most High is doing, but on a carnal level, could it be Esau using his weather manipulation machines to purposely try and create a famine-like situation? Well, more than likely, very well. But at the end of the day, the scriptures do talk about the Lord sending famine. Okay, and there is going to be a famine, a great one, a big one at that. Okay, so that's gonna be something that you're gonna have on your plate too. All right, I'm referring on to these wicked people out here because the Lord said he's gonna in famine he will deliver his elect. All right, so as the hopeful elect, we don't have to worry about that. We just know that so long as we stay on the right path and stay on our goal, we should be all right. Okay, now going more into it, man. This is something that could really play a role or a factor in the future. Okay, because hey, one thing I'll tell you, man, especially a lot of Americans, they like to eat. Okay, they love to eat. Eating is like a job for them. If they even miss one meal, one snack, the whole world is all hell is breaking loose. Okay, so they're not disciplined. All right, they don't know how to have their body under subjection. Okay, were they to go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 hours without food, they're complaining. But yet they're drinking juice all day. All right. So how much more from when you don't have any of that? Okay. People are not thinking, man. So I'm gonna read through a couple of these precepts. All right, just to put that that mindset there, man, because a famine is not something light. You see, when we read the scriptures, we read, oh, famine, pestilence, we say it all together. But each one of these plagues is it's damaging. Just one of those plagues can bring down a society, can bring down a empire, a civilization. But the Lord said He's bringing all of them, man. Okay, but in this video, I'm gonna focus on this one. Okay, famine. That's a very, very painful way to die, man. The scriptures tell you about that. So let me see. I think I was doing a word search for this. Uh, uh, all right. It's the second Esdras, chapter 16, verse 22. All right. Oh, matter of fact, I started at 17. Okay, and this was this is Esdras, the prophet Esdras or Ezra, okay, who saw a vision, all right, of the last days. Okay, now listen to what he says. He says, "Woe is me," woe meaning destruction. All right, so woe is me, woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days? Okay, because the things he saw were so scary, all right, that he even got shook up. You know, it says the beginning, and that also goes into reincarnation because why is he worried about himself in those days? Because what, he was gonna be here. It says the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. All right, because there's no escaping a famine. Okay, if the Lord was to say you're gonna die by famine or lack of food or starvation, there's no escaping that, man. You're done. All right, you're done, and it's a very painful process, man. It says the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Because it's, look, Jacob's trouble. We've said it and said it and said it and said it that, for some people it sounds like a broken record, but it's not something light. All right, Jacob's trouble is not light work. It's not something simple, man. Keep in mind, you're gonna be seeing things that have never been seen before. All right. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they will not turn from their wickedness, nor be mindful of their scourges. You see, amendment meaning for them to change their ways. All right, make it better. But it says, for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness. It says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. All right, because when all hell starts breaking loose and people don't have answers, all right, all they have is feelings. That's gonna be a bad situation for a lot of people. Okay, but they're not considering these things. They're thinking themselves to be in a good case, and that's when evils are growing, because it's growing and they're not watching it, so they don't even see it growing. All right, for many of them, many key word, all right, that dwell upon the earth shall perish, meaning die of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Okay, many shall perish of famine, man. And you when you dying by by hunger, you know the Lord is doing it to you. And you know there's no other way. There is no way to escape it, man. There's no possible way. A famine, the Lord killing you by famine, unless He was to have mercy on you, you're not surviving that. All right. So what is the escape, man? You don't have unless you're of the Lord's elect, you're not gonna escape the Most High. Who shall deliver you from the hands of the Lord? It says, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. So it's gonna look like I Am Legend, when you have trees and stuff growing in cities, and it's just gonna look crazy, man. Broken down buildings, abandoned warehouses, stuff like that. All right, and even worse, because remember, those are things that we've seen. All right. So next precept, also in the book of Ezra, chapter 15, verse 57. Like as thou hast done unto my chosen, saith the Lord, even so shall the Most High do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief. Thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. The city shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field. Okay, it says, thy children shall die of hunger. You know what it is to watch your child die painfully, crying because they're telling you they're hungry. Mommy, I'm hungry. My stomach hurts. And you have no power to do anything about that because you're going through it yourself, and you're on the verge of considering whether you should convince yourself to eat your child and call it a mercy killing. Hey, man, it says, they that be in the mountains shall die of hunger, and shall eat their own flesh. That's cannibalism. And drink their own blood. For very hunger of bread and thirst for water. All right, and it's gonna be worse for a lot of people, because they don't have the discipline. All right, to live in the spirit, to have their spirit sustain them. Okay, the only thing that they can live by is their flesh. So when their flesh is in such an uncomfortable position, it gains power over them. All right, over their mind, over their spirit, over everything, and it'll cause them to do things like commit cannibalism and crazy things, man. Because now their flesh is in control. Their flesh is in override, and is doing what it is, what it wants to do. All right, because it hasn't been put in subjection. If you put your flesh in subjection, regardless of how hungry it is, if your spirit just says, nah, we're not doing this, we're not committing cannibalism, your flesh has no option but to obey it. All right. So let me actually pull one here. Yeah, this is Second Kings 6:25. And there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it until an ass's. So because they besieged it, the people had no like well, let me actually go into the word. To bind, besiege, confine, cramp. All right, to confine, to shut in. Okay, so because they basically locked down Samaria. Okay, they locked it down, so there was no going in or out. Now, if they were to, let's say, lock down the Bronx or lock down New York, you'd have a famine because the means of getting food in, all right, in New York is gonna be shut off. Okay, so it says, because remember, what people you know what I mean, you might be driving or you might be walking past a supermarket, and you see it so often that it doesn't really it's not something that stands out in your mind. But those Goya trucks and those different food trucks that'll have the little logo on the side, all right, you see the workers using the hand trucks to unpack them, all right, and bring them into the store, so on and so forth. Yeah, that's how when you go to the store, you find things there to buy. But when those trucks don't bring them anymore, guess what? Eventually, what's in the store will run out. And especially in the state of chaos, they're gonna run out quick. All right. Now, when that happens, what are you doing? Okay. What are you gonna do? So it says, until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver. Okay, that's 80 pieces of silver for an ass's head. Something that on a regular somebody would probably, if you offered to them, they'd be like, I don't eat that. What's wrong with you? And the fourth part of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. Think about this, right? How bad did it have to get that if you were to offer somebody dove's dung, meaning dove shit, all right, like, yo, you know what I'm saying, I got some dove shit for you for free, they would take that as disrespect, and they'd probably want to slap you for that, okay? But it got so bad that they started selling dove shit for money. People were paying for something that, had you offered it to them for free in a state of comfortability, they would have probably got upset. Not even probably, they would have got upset, and taken that as disrespect. That's how bad it was. Okay. Now this is during that time. How much more for during this time? Okay. It says, and as the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, Help, my lord, O king. And he said, If Yahweh do not help thee, when shall I help thee? See, because he knew that it wasn't it wasn't a man's doing, it was the Lord's doing. Okay, and if the Lord is doing it, then how can a man help you? How can a man deliver you from the Lord? It says, out of the barn floor or out of the winepress. And the king said unto her, What aileth thee? And she answered, This woman said unto me, Give thy son, that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. Now, is that this is a mother speaking? Okay, imagine hearing this from a mother's mouth. But the fact that you actually agreed to eat children, like, how does that work? But that's how bad it was, man. So check it. They actually did. So we boiled my son and did eat him. They got so hungry, all right, that they ate their own babies, man. Once again, something that will be unthinkable in a time like this. Guess what? Desperate times call for desperate measures, as the saying goes. All right, and when your flesh is not disciplined, it'll make up excuses for you to do outrageous things. Okay, and it'll justify it in your mind. Okay, especially when you're not being spiritual. Now you're gonna be falling under the trap of this precept right here. Okay, Jeremiah 17:9. The heart, meaning your mind, is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? And it's that much more in a time of trouble for the flesh. Your mind is deceitful. It will deceive you into doing something and justify it on top of that. Okay? And it's desperately wicked. So if you don't have your body, all right, under subjection, to have your spirit rule, all right, and discern, okay, no, that's off. I'm not gonna do that. All right. I'd rather die than to do that. Guess what? You can end up like somebody like this, okay, eating their baby. It says, and I said unto her, on the next day, give thy son that we may eat him. And she had hid her Slakia, and she hath hid her son. Okay. Yeah. All right. So that's the point right there, man. Now I'm gonna end up with this last precept. This is Jeremiah 4:9. I'll start at verse 8. Their visage is blacker than a coal. All right. Now I believe when you go into the word visage or visage, it goes into look at that shape, form, outline, figure, appearance. Okay. So their look. All right. It says, they are not known in the streets. Their skin cleaveth to their bones. That's what happens when you starve, man. Your skin cleaves to your bones. You you see in tree in the Akan tongue, you say wafon. All right, means you shrunk. All right, you know what I mean, look like an old person. Okay, due to lack of nutrition, lack of food, lack of water, your body's basically shriveling. It's dying. It says it is withered. It has become like a stick. I mean, you become skinny. You see them anorexic people? Worse than that. All right. They that be, and that's why it says here, they that be slain, meaning killed with the sword, all right, meaning weapons, are better than they that be slain with hunger. Now nobody wants to die, but when it comes to death, it's telling you, man, you would rather die by a weapon than to die by hunger, man. For these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field, man. They pine away. I want to see if they give you a nice. Oh man, it doesn't really give me something I'm looking for. All right, but they pine away. You can imagine what that's like, man. All right, you slowly dying, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field, meaning food. You want something to eat, but look at what's going on with the fruits of the field. This, okay, something nobody's really paying attention to. They're worried about McDonald's, Burger King, and it's like, even all right, now that you have the luxury of being able to have food to eat, at least eat something nutritious. All right, keep your body healthy or something. All right, but hey, Jake is gonna be in a worse predicament. All right, especially because the Lord is gonna bring this thing like off guard, man, when you least expect it, and it's gonna get worse as it keeps going, man. So I mean, look, man, it's gonna be a nasty future coming up for America, okay, aka Babylon. But Lowland, this is edifying unto the elect, giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and Shalom.